Hey, and welcome back to Loud Creations. Today, I am kind of doing a lot. I wanted to do my second part of the lemon ginger mead that I started back on the new moon in Capricorn. Yeah, it's a new moon in Capricorn. And now we're coming up, I think today or maybe tomorrow is the full moon in Cancer. And so that's my schedule. My schedule doesn't always line up with what the mead wants to do. So today I'm going to just check on it, see where it's at as far as the fermentation, do a gravity reading, maybe taste it. And then I'm going to, if I feel like the time is right, I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice. And I also am going to chop up some fresh ginger and plop it in there so that it can infuse with some ginger flavor. I started out with a ginger tea, but I have a feeling it's going to be kind of light on the ginger, and I want this to be spicy. So that's what we're doing. And I have all this other stuff here. I have vodka and all this because I'm also going to do a video about extracts because I figure if I'm getting everything sanitized and going this far, I might as well get a lot done. In this video, I'm going to be, like I said, checking on the lemon ginger mead. I also have some blueberry mead that I started several months ago that's just been sitting. And so I'm going to go ahead and bottle that so I can do the bottling process in one of my videos because I've yet to do that. So here we go. Okay, to check on this mead, it has not even been 2 weeks because I got a late start on this as far as my new and full moon cycle. But even so, I have a feeling this is going to go for a while because I put a ton of honey in here. And it's still bubbling up. Anywho, I'm going to take a gravity reading, see where we're at, and I might. Oh, I didn't get myself. That's okay. I'll figure this out. I kind of want to taste it, and I don't really have anything to taste it with. I have a spoon, a giant stirring spoon for in case. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a gravity reading. Yeah, it sounds like I just opened a soda pop. It's fizzing. This is my, oops. So I have my hydrometer and my little beaker that is getting foggier and foggier each time I use it. I highly recommend getting something much more clear than this because it kind of makes it challenging to read. We're just going to take some of this. All right, so it's pretty foamy. I'm going to go ahead and give this a little spin. Definitely has a lot more ways to go here. Okay, so we are at 1.108. That's a long ways to go. What I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to go ahead and give this a little taste. I'm also going to chop up some fresh ginger and put it in there. I might even add some lemon juice. It just depends on what this is tasting like. I think I might wait on the lemon juice until wait another week or so. All righty. Let's see what percentage that's at. Because remember, well, I remember anyway. The starting gravity for this was 1.15, which is really, really sweet. So I just use an online calculator to calculate my ABV. How accurate it is, I don't know. It seems accurate based on just my experience with drinking the mead. Let's see, ABV. I use the Brewer's Friend website. They have an ABV calculator. All right, I'm going to say it's 1.108. We're under We're only at 6%. It looks like it's still happy doing its thing. That just doesn't seem right. Okay, that is. Okay, so we have a long way to go with this. I'm going to go ahead and pour most of this back in. Leaving a teeny tiny bit in there just to see. Don't do this at home. I'm going to drink out of the beaker. Only because I forgot to bring a cup and I'm not going to use this again. Oh, wait. Well, I'm going to sanitize it again before I do the bottling for my blueberry mead. That wasn't worth doing. Now I feel I have to drink the rest of it. It's like drinking straight honey water. Yeah, way too early. So I'm going to go ahead and just so we can do something. Very not strong on the ginger. So I have this has all been sanitized. This ginger was frozen, so hopefully I can chop it now. I went ahead and peeled it. It's about half a hand of ginger, and I'm just going to slice it. And the last time I used ginger, I actually did this for fermentation and I used a whole hand of ginger, and that was pretty powerful. I'm going to try to, I don't want to go quite so far this time. So I'm going to give this mead, I don't know, another 5, 6, 7 days, depending on when I get to it, to continue to ferment and to enjoy some ginger. So I'm just dropping it in there. I figure when I rack it, it'll all be at the bottom. So it's not, oops. I hope this doesn't freak out my little yeasties. I don't know. Not done this. I am going to hold off on the lemon juice. Yeah, everything is just, I don't know if you can hear that. I'm going to move this under the microphone, see if you can hear. You hear that? Maybe not. It's very active. So I actually have all these lemons out because in another video, I'm going to be making a lemon extract with the peels. I had hoped to use some of the juice to add to this, but since it is, I can't really get a sense what it tastes like because it's just straight honey at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in my dark closet, let it do its thing for a while longer. And for the rest of this video, I'm going to go ahead and bottle my blueberry mead so that I have something to show for. I haven't decided if I'm going to put this video out now or if I'm going to wait and then put them all together when I come back to this in about a week. But I guess you'll find out when you see the video. Be right back. Okay, so I am back with my blueberry mead. I actually started this back in July and it had a lot of like, I don't know, when I added the blueberries, I should have used pectinase. I know that now, but it had just a lot of weird, like globular things from what I read and then checking it out. And then I racked it. It seems fine now. Everything, it smelled right. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just sometimes funky things happen and it doesn't look appetizing. So I might only be taking, because I held it up to the light. This is very dark. And looks like, there's still quite a bit of that gelatin. I don't even know what to call it. It's like, it's not quite sediment because it's not on the bottom. It's kind of floating a little down here. Long story short, I don't know how many bottles I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to use these little beer bottles. And I got to say with the Star San, I usually use before this I used IoStar, which then because it's iodine based, it dyes everything yellow. So I thought I'd try something else. But Star San leaves a lot of bubbles, and I don't tend to do my sanitization so far in advance that there's time for this stuff to drip off. Um, so, I mean, it's personal preference, but I'll probably go back to the IoStar. It was just easier for me. So, even though there's so few little bubbles left in these bottles, I'm going to go ahead and just use them. This is a no rinse sanitization fluid, and there's really not much in there, considering I diluted 1 ounce in 5 gallons. I have a bucket over here. So I'm going to just gonna do it. I don't know how many I'm going to be able to fill up. So I guess we'll just see. All right. Now I have to get my auto siphon, and I have a bottling wand. So this is you put on the end of the tube for the auto siphon, which I'll do in a second. And it has this little button here, lever. When you put it in the bottom of the vessel that you're putting it into, it'll let the wine or mead or whatever flow out. And then when you lift it up and the button is released, it keeps it from continuing to flow until you put it down in the next bottle and press it down. And so that keeps from having crazy amounts of spillage. It's great. So I'm gonna start this by putting my mead up here. I've been thinking about bottling this mead for so long, and it's finally happening. I'm excited. Okay. Um, all right. So first things first, I have to see if this needs to be back sweetened. I'm pretty sure I let this one um, ferment out all the way, so it's probably very very dry. And also, I want to put it in here just to get even less of this floaty sediment, weird fruit stuff that's still in here after racking it 2 or 3 times. So let's start with that. So I was a little premature with my bottling wand. I have to do this step first. So I'm gonna get my auto siphon and let's do this. Okay, auto siphon. So this tube end goes here. I'm gonna put still a little bit of Star San in there, but like I said. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna put it up here. I'm not putting it all the way down. This is so dark that I can't tell where the ooey gooey stuff is, but okay. So I'm gonna let this go ahead and do its thing, and I will be right back for a little tasting and possibly adding some honey to this. Okay, so I guess I could do. I'm gonna do a gravity reading. Okay, so here I am again with my turkey baster. I'm gonna do a gravity reading for this. Pretty sure last time I checked it, it was at 1.000. So I assume it's either still there or it's 0.999 or whatever. I can't remember if I back sweetened this already. I don't think I did. And of course, I put the jug away, so I don't have my little notes that were on the jug. Yep. No, it's not quite it. So it's like 0.996. So it's this is dry. This is really dry, and I don't tend to really, I don't know, especially with my older meads, they don't, this one's aged for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little taste of it to see, but I tend to like them a little on the sweeter side or semi-sweet. All right, blueberry mead from July 2022. I mean, it needs honey. It's not bad. It's smooth. Yeah, I think I need to add a little sweetness because there's like a little bitter at the aftertaste. So I am gonna pour this back in. I'm gonna try to do it. Let's see what the ABV is on this. And I'm not going to check the gravity again after I add the honey. I'm just going to call it good. You can, I'm sure there's a way to calculate what the ABV is after back sweetening, but my brain has zero interest in doing that. So it's not happening over here because I can't make myself do it. Okay, so this is 13.65%. It had a starting gravity of 1.10. So it wasn't like I didn't set it up to be super sweet to begin with. Oh, did I forget my scale? My scale. Okay, I don't have my scale here. Now, if I wanted to be exact and give you guys since I didn't give the recipe or how I did this from the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and just throw some honey in and do it by taste rather than weight. But if you want to recreate your recipe, it's a good idea to put this on a scale and measure how much honey you're adding so that you know how much honey you're going to need in the future. But as it is, I have this 3-pound raw unfiltered honey from Costco. I ran out of my neighborhood honey. So here we are. I'm grateful to have this. And I'm just going to pour some of it in. And then I'm going to stir it and then I'm going to taste it. I'm probably going to go for like a quarter of a pound at a time because I don't want to overdo it. So what's a quarter of a pound in this? I don't know. Does it look like a quarter of a pound? 1/6 of the bottle. Oh, let's do this. Oh, cut that out. Got my stirring spoon. I'm just gonna, this has been sitting long enough. I would think there's not much as far as gases left in here. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes for mead to degas naturally. Is that a thing? I don't really, I think I've said in my other videos, I'm not the greatest about degassing. Anybody want to share about the importance of degassing? Happy to, maybe it would motivate me. Oh, it's getting a little fizzy. Okay, so I'm going to just stir this for a while until there's no more honey on my spoon. And I'll be back. Is that honey? Yeah, that's honey. Also, the amount of honey I added, we don't even have any, we have like maybe 2/3 of a gallon here. This isn't a full gallon, and I added, I don't know, maybe 1/3 of a cup of honey. But I just tend to like to do things by taste. If it tastes good and I like it, then cool. But there's also that element of wanting to recreate what she did. So I'm not there yet. I've yet to make one that I'm like, ooh, I want to make this over and over again. I've gotten close, but I'm still in the learning phase here. Well, the learning phase goes on forever, I'm sure. But okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop rambling and take a sip. Here we go. I just wonder if some lemon wouldn't help this. What would go good with blueberry? Mm. I'm going to put more honey in it. Okay, so it's not a pound, like maybe half a pound of honey, maybe a quarter of a pound. I don't know. This is when a scale would be nice. Definitely, it's not a full cup. It's I'll look on the bottom and see if I can see any. It's so dark I couldn't see honey if there was honey in there. Here we go again. Ooh, that's pleasant. Wow, just a little bit more honey really brought out the blueberry flavor. Like maybe the bitterness was just blueberry with no sugar, and now it's tasting like blueberry again. Yes, I think this is perfect. So what do I have here? Yeah, so I basically have 2/3 of a gallon, and I added, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of a cup of honey. So I added kind of a lot of honey. I could do another gravity reading just to see. Yeah, actually, now that I've gotten through this part, I think I will do that. 1.022. That's a pretty nice ending gravity. That's in the range of what I generally like. Thank you, Costco honey. And I'm going to go ahead and pour this back in and let's get to bottling. I'm going to be pasteurizing this by heating it up. And I'm not going to show that in this video, but in a future video, I will be sure to talk about pasteurization and also using Campden tablets and potassium sorbate, which I did in my last mead. And when I get to bottling and tasting it, then I'll have a better idea of what I think about those, using those instead of pasteurizing. But as it is, I'm going to pasteurize this because I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait a couple days to see. Hopefully, this won't backfire. And I only have 3 bottles here. Where are the other? Okay, so I have my auto siphon, my bottling wand, and I'm just gonna put bottling wand on, and you don't want to put it too far in, but you definitely don't want it to pop off. If you go in, I have it like maybe 1/3 of an inch in. When I did it further, I couldn't get it off. I had to cut it off. So maybe that's just me, but So I'm using swing top bottles. I feel like they're a little safer as far as uh, explosions because there's a little give here. They're made for fizzy drinks. So uh, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pump this a little bit. And I'm pressing the wand down at the bottom of the bottle. And what I'm going to do is once it gets where it looks like it's starting to go up in the neck, I'm going to release then, and then it'll drop back down a little bit. Otherwise, stuff might overflow. And I have a tendency to do stuff like that. So this I've learned. I just let it get just a little bit into the neck and then I release. That's going up. Boop. And a little bit more. Get my next bottle ready. This one you'll be able to actually see what's happening. And this is how you do it. And like I said, if you've back sweetened, it's good to stabilize your brew so that you don't have bottle bombs, because these things can explode if fermentation starts up again and it creates too much pressure. But like I said, these are made for like beer. And so I feel like there's a little less risk of that here. Yeah, you can see all the bubbles. Okay, so it's getting up into the neck. I'm going to go a little ways here. And then out. And this is how much was left. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles. They're the smaller bottles, but I kind of like it that way. And I'm going to go ahead and have a sip of this. Yeah, that turned out pleasant. Okay, so that is it for this video. I'm going to go ahead and pasteurize my mead. I'm also going to be making some extracts, which I'm going to release as separate videos. I kind of got into making extracts when I needed hazelnut for one of my other meads. And now I'm just really interested in making extracts because it's super easy. And so I thought I'd share that information as well. So be on the lookout for those videos. I will also be back in about a week, hopefully, with part 3 for my lemon ginger mead. And there we will talk about the folklore around the ingredients that I used and the medicinal uses. And I'll also hopefully be racking and adding some more lemon to it. So I hope this video is useful and I will see you next time. Thank you.